Every October, right around harvest, there is a tradition celebrated by millions. It has a rich history spanning centuries, and its tapestry is sewn throughout multiple cultures all over the known world, and perhaps even the unknown world. It's exciting, mysterious, and to some, it's damn right terrifying. No, not that one. The other thing that happens in October. Welcome to the Legend in My Spare Time.
Legend in my spare time, motherfucker.
Legend in My Spare Time contains themes and subjects that may not be suitable for everyone listening. If you're easily offended, we suggest you get your podcast on elsewhere.
If you spend any time researching Halloween, you'll quickly realize that the day as we know it takes its inspiration from many cultural, religious, and occult traditions. And you'll usually find yourself starting with the Celts. On October 31st, the Celts celebrated the end of harvest with a day called Samhain. It was also the Celtic New Year, considered to be between years, and during this time, it was said, the veil between the dead and the living was at its weakest. It was believed that our world and the world of the dead, or no longer living, depending on who you ask, would be connected for a short time, allowing evil spirits to roam free and enter our world to, no doubt, torment the living. The Celts, who always had a strong belief in the magical and mysterious, did not shy away from the dangers. They in fact tried to meet them head on. On Samhain, they would light massive bonfires with the hope of scaring the demons back to the spirit world. They would adorn masks designed to scare away the evil spirits, and they would offer gifts, usually sweet, to try to keep them, well, sweet. As the Catholic Church's grip grew on Europe, it frowned upon these pagan rituals, and during the 7th century the Vatican merged Samhain with a church-sanctioned holiday, and November 1st became known as All Saints' Day, or, at the time, Hallowmas, roughly translating into the Mass of the Saints. The night before, October 31st, was known as All Hallows' Eve, which, over time, morphed into, you got it, Halloween. When the potato famine hit the Irish, many of them decided to move on to greener pastures, with hope of a better life, and perhaps a slice of the American dream. When they did this, they took with them many of their traditions and beliefs, including Halloween, and all that came with it. The children, covering their faces with masks as not to get caught, would play pranks on their neighbors, beginning as just that, harmless pranks. But these nasty games, or tricks, began to worsen, and by the 1930s, Halloween was considered a dangerous holiday for vandals and hooligans. The neighbors borrowed from an old Celt tradition of offering the spirits bribes in the form of sweet food and applied it to these kids. So in fact, trick-or-treat really started as blackmail or extortion. Houses that did not provide the goods, as it were, would end up terrorized. Little bastards. As a boy, and evidently a grown man, I always had an unquenched desire for adventure. I lived vicariously through my heroes in comic books, TV shows, and movies. I desperately wanted to be a Goonie, a Ghostbuster, or even a Ninja Turtle. Alright, the last one isn't very realistic. I could never be a ninja. But I believe this unquenched desire was what spoke to me when I received a strange text or dare from a loyal listener and longtime friend, Uncle Joey, regarding our special Halloween podcast. He had read about an abandoned insane asylum called Talgarth, and it's not very far from us in South Wales. In fact, it's very close. So that's how we agreed to spend Halloween in a derelict building, an empty, rotting mental asylum tucked up on private land in the South Wales valleys. Wish us luck. The Brecon and Radnor Joint Counties Lunatic Asylum opened in 1900 during a public ceremony hosted by the Lord Glenusk.
Everything has been done that human ingenuity could devise for the happiness and safety of the inmates, and, under the blessing of God, for their speedy restoration to health.
At a cost of £126,000 at the time, the building boasted its own private water, electricity, heating, and sewage systems. It also featured a large agricultural estate, where able-bodied patients worked to produce food for the hospital. After the First World War, patients from extending valleys were admitted, and the hospital was renamed the Mid-Wales Counties Mental Hospital. During the Second World War, it was requisitioned as a war hospital, given over to the military, and most of his patients transferred to other hospitals throughout Wales. It was once again a civilian hospital in 1947, and the wards of this asylum were no stranger to any manner of treatments and therapies. Electroconvulsive therapy, chiropody, reflexology, and psychiatry, just to name a few. Now, the mindset and attitudes toward mental health care were constantly changing and improving, and services at the hospital were slowed down during the 90s, and the last of its wards closed in 1999. This building is falling apart, literally. It's being deemed unsafe, it's coated in asbestos, the walls are caving in, and the floors are dropping to their lower levels. There's only one road in or out of this place, and did we mention it used to be an insane asylum? Lobotomies, electroshock therapy, the whole 9 yards. But we cannot have our friends and listeners thinking we're yellow, after all. So, I did what any good captain does before going on any secret mission. I formed a posse.
Legend in my Sparetime, motherfucker.
A fearless crew, ready to face the danger head-on with no promise or reward or even survival. My red shirts. Just Jon, my BFF, hetero life mate and work wife, and of course, podcast co-host. Plus, I've known him long enough that I can basically force him to tag along. Right, Jon?
Jon, last thoughts for the world, if this is it?
Young Nathan, a kind and twisted boy with a good heart and a wise soul, even if he has only seen one of the Star Wars trilogies, and not the good one.
Alright, so there's Nathan. Good luck to you. If this is your last will and testament, what are your last thoughts for the world? Okay.
Sexy Dave, our navigator, our getaway driver, our warrior. The bravest of the bunch with seemingly no fear. We needed him to keep us all safe.
Sexy Dave, last thoughts to the world, if this is it?
My car.
Alright,
Yeah.
cool. Alright, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. This is where it all starts. Let's just hope this isn't where it all ends as well.
Yeah, I feel like
Good luck to us.
That's a house.
Yeah.
I feel like we should be walking down there.
Are you frightened?
No.
I am. Alright, here's proof, folks, that we got here. Right, boys, we're here. We got the cameras. We got the gears. This is Talgarth right here. We didn't even get in the fucking place, and we've already been removed. So, we're leaving. So...
As you can hear there in the background, right around this point we were greeted by a friendly, caring, and considerate man in a little white van, and he asked us if we wouldn't mind if we could just kindly remove ourselves from the property, kind of quick time like.
All right. He wants you to grab your chair. Just grab your chair. All right. Hey, we're leaving. We're not being rude. We are. That's exactly what we're doing. All right. Just be polite, perhaps. Have a nice day, sir. Have a wonderful day. Hang on a sec here. There he is. There's my co-host, Just Jon. Out of 10, how well do you think our first outing went as a podcast?
Like, minus fucking 7.
So, if you are thinking of coming to Talgarth Mid Wales Hospital, don't bother, because they're onto you.
Yeah.
Like, he was onto us right away. We were here like seconds, and he drove by us one car, and we thought, well, this is it already.
Cameras or something.
It must be. And then we were here moments, just seconds. And, sorry, guys. I mean, I know we failed, but we didn't fail on purpose, right? You know what I mean?
Thanks for effort. Oh.
You know what I mean? Get in on this, boys. I'm just explaining that we got here, we did it, we just got busted right away.
He was a cheeky fucker.
He was, wasn't he? He was not very...
Please and thank you wouldn't go amiss.
Right? Oh, here we are.
He just standing, he just parked up there.
Oh, because he...
wanted to see if he was going to enter.
And, does this count as him being a celebrity? Because he's the same guy I've seen in all the other videos.
Yeah.
Like, every other video you see on YouTube of people getting kicked out, it's that angry guy there. And earlier...
You know what? Fuck this. No, Dave.
No, Dave. We're now being
Followed.
escorted off the property, essentially.
We're being followed.
And this guy offended Sexy Dave's, and Sexy Dave's just fucking with him. We
have now stopped.
We are now stopped, and the white van is creeping up behind us. Is this a private road right here?
No.
So then we can do whatever we want, right?
It's like we're Just don't look at him.
Just don't look at it.
Straight face.
Oh, he's turning around. In the nature of making the best out of a bad situation, ladies and gentlemen, we are no longer on private roads or private property. We are no longer breaking any laws. But Sexy Dave here is enjoying himself by annoying the security team that is currently following us.
Wow.
Security team. Right? It's the security team. Hey, man. Never let the truth get in the way of a good story. All right, so we shook the security, didn't we, boys?
We fucking done him.
We lost them. And now we hear sirens, but ain't no way they're sending sirens blazing for fucking 4 dudes in a car. And if they are, we've already discussed, we're going to give him Nathan.
Yeah.
He's our sacrifice.
Butt ass nude.
Let us go and you can have the fresh one.
We've even lubed him up and stripped him naked for you.
Yeah, that's right. So, we're sorry to fail you. Now I know what you're thinking. What the fuck? What kind of a piss poor excuse for a blue balling podcast is this shit? But it's not quite that simple, you see. A few minutes later on our way home, when we would have no doubt been deep inside of Talgarth, we received the following video from Uncle Joey, the good friend and loyal listener, the very same Uncle Joey that sent me the mysterious text message daring me to go to Talgarth in the first place.
Matt, John, I just want to take a minute to apologize. I've been a little behind listening to the episodes of the podcast. I never fucking sent you a message about doing a podcast at an asylum. Dude, I live over here in the States. How in the fuck would I know about an asylum in Wales? Wasn't me.